All right, I am continuing now with David's ratings of every single Wyvern card. I'm going over all the battle action cards this time. Pretty decent amount of list here, all the way down to there. Hopefully, it won't take too long to get through all of them. So he ranks Cricket the number one card. I don't agree, but it is one of the best cards. I'm probably going to say an eight. I might come back to a nine, but we'll see. Eight is about right for me. Golden Apple, the dragon you play it on, survives the battle even if he loses. Yeah, it's at least an eight. Excellent card. Power Switch is a nine, if not a 10. Power Switch is probably the best battle action card in the game. It is very, very powerful. There are times when Cricket will be better. But overall, I would take Power Switch, even though it costs 2 gold and Cricket is free. But it's very close. But for now, I'm saying 9. I'm not going to give Battle Chaos an 8. Battle Chaos is potentially a very good card, and it can also be bad. Basically, whoever has the most power of dragons in the battlefield, and you don't know when you play the card, but if you feel good, you've got like 4 of your 6 battle positions are, good-sized dragons, you can play this, and it can get rather crazy. I'm going to give it, I'll give it a 6. I'll give it slightly above average because it has the potential to be very good, but it can blow up in your face and you could lose the battle and it can be devastating. So I can't give it an 8. Apollo, I absolutely give an 8. 1 gold, draw 2 cards in the battle. Great card, play it all the time. Same with Minotaur. Is Cricket better than Minotaur? Yeah, the ratio is slightly better. 3 for 0 is better than 4 for 1, but 4 for 1 is still really good. So yeah, Minotaur, really good. I'll go 8 all day with Minotaur. Great card but of course it's only for little dragons, Cricket and Minotaur. It will not work on dragons of 3 or more strength, but it's still really, really good. Lucky Strike, I don't know why you think this is a good card. Maybe I'm wrong. This is another one, maybe I'm wrong. Whoever is behind in this battle, when Lucky Strike is played, gains 1 gold piece from the gold mine. So I see the value in getting gold, but am I going to give up a card that only gets me a gold when I'm behind in battle? Well, okay, let me play devil's advocate with myself. Lucky Strike is a card that will probably come up in every game you play. The scenario will come up where you're behind. But 1 gold? See, I just don't think 1 gold is enough of a payout. 2 gold, then yeah, Lucky Strike. Hey, you're winning, I get 2 gold. Boom. See, I don't see why that would be too much. So I'm only going to give Lucky Strike a 4. I just don't see it being worth it. I just don't want to play it. I could even go lower than 4, but I'll leave it at 4. So Fire Breathing, Strength Modifier 1 for 0. I'm going to go 6. We're not much different on this one. He might be right. Maybe it is a 7. Maybe it's a really good card. I just think it's a decent card, and I certainly am going to play it. Sometimes all you need is 1 more point to change the battle. So it is a good card, but I'll give it a 6. Help, very good card. Totally agree with the 7, even though Help is risky. If you lose the battle, both of your dragons die. But in the limited game, you're usually going to win that battle. Usually, not always. In Constructed, I don't think this card is as good. I would go with Magic Potion, but I could see playing Help in your Help deck. I think I would still play Help. And in any Constructed deck, there is nothing wrong with playing the Help card to bring another dragon into the battle. It could blow up in your face, though, especially if they play the next card, Poison Chalice. So I will give Help a 7. I would say 6 to 7. So we're in agreement. But I'm just letting you know it's more on the 6 to 7, not 7 to 8 for me. Poison Chalice is a 9, in my opinion. It is possibly the most powerful card in the game, even though it costs 3 gold, even though, and I wasn't sure about this, you can play strength modifiers on your opponent's dragon. So if my opponent plays Poison Chalice and I'm winning the battle 3-2, and now I'm losing because he plays Poison Chalice, the side with the lowest strength wins the battle, I could play a magical sword on his dragon, putting him up to a 4, and now I'm winning the battle because I'm losing the battle. So despite that, Poison Chalice and Power Switch are the 2 power cards in the game. These are 9s, if not 10. It's just an amazing card. Knight. Knight is a very good card. Totally agree. 7 is, I think, about the right place. Because all it does is cancel the battle. And of course, then the only thing that can stop this, other than Magnetic Field, of course, is Ra. And no one's going to play Ra other than out of the sideboard. And we're going to be having a tournament soon, and we're going to be using sideboards, but the sideboards will be everything that isn't in the deck. But it should be fun. So Dwarven Army, he's going to say 7, and I'm going to say 6. I don't know if the reason Fire Breathing is here and Dwarven Army is here is because he thinks Fire Breathing is... But I don't think he thinks that. I think this is just like these are all the same for him. Now I'm seeing that I don't think he's rating Dwarven Army below Fire Breathing. So otherwise, it doesn't really make any sense. They both do the exact same thing. Let me know if I'm wrong about that, David. If you actually are putting Fire Breathing over Dwarven Army, because why is it down several places? It's just because these are all the 7s. So I'm assuming these are all ranked high for you. All right, Possession Spell. I really like Possession Spell. I could make the case that it's only a 6, but I'm going to stick with 7. It's a 6 to 7 because sometimes there has to be a face-up dragon for you to possess, in addition to the dragons in the battle. So there has to be a 3rd face-up dragon on the battlefield. That won't always come up. And the really cool thing about Possession Spell is now that possessed dragon is 0. You can't possess it a second time because that would make no sense. All right, Banshee. Banshee for no gold, free gold. The winner of this battle loses 1 gold and gets no draw phase next turn. Really good card. I'm going to say 6. I like Banshee. Maybe it's a 7. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to say it's an above average card, not a really good card. But it is effective. It can hurt your opponent. But that's all it does. So when you lose a battle, you make your opponent suffer a little bit. But I like that. I think it's a nice card. I'm not always going to want to play it, though. So I'll say 6. Cyclops. Cyclops for 1 gold. All dragons helping one side of this battle run away and are no longer in the battle. So, what's the card? Gully. Gully as an action says no help is allowed. So now you go into battle, you didn't play Gully, so they play help, and now you send all the dragons helping, you send them away. So yeah, that's a really good card. It's niche. For what it does, I'd say, yeah, I guess it is a 7, but in general, this is a sideboard card. You do not start with this card unless you think there's a decent chance. I mean, I could see putting 1 in a limited deck because it's like, yeah, there's a good chance my opponent's going to play some help cards, but there's a chance they won't. But I could see running 1, and yeah, I guess it's a 7. Maybe it's just a 6 because it's not dealing with the dragon other than it's making them leave. So nothing bad happens to them. They just get out. But hopefully that means you win the battle. All right, Hypnos. So Mental Domination for 2 gold forced any face-up dragon on either side of 2 or less strength. I thought that was too expensive for that card. I think that's Mental Domination. Maybe it's in here, and we're going to get to it. We'll see if I remember correctly. This is too expensive. You can force any face-up dragon to help on either side of this battle. Yeah, and I can possess it. I can play help and bring... Well, no, help only brings in my dragons. So, okay, I can now force your dragon to help me. But that's not going to necessarily hurt your dragon. Well, it will if I lose the battle. This should only cost 2 gold, in my opinion. And because of that, I'm only going to give it a 4. I don't want to pay 3 gold. It is an effective card, so maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think it's worth 3 gold to force one of your dragons, because your dragon is not going to die if I win the battle. It's not getting rid of the dragon. This is helping me to win the battle, which is still good. So maybe it's a 5. It's a 4 or a 5. We'll go 5, but I'm not paying 3 gold for this card. I just don't see myself doing it. Tor, treasure of your choice has no effect during this battle. That's cute. That can be an effective card, but I've never played it. I've never once felt like I want to play it, so I can't give it a 7 because a 7 is a card I'm going to want to play, or at least sideboard. It's got to be a sideboard card. It stops, Fountains of Youth. It stops Magic Potion. There are a lot of things that this card is effective at, so I'll give it a 5 because it's a perfectly playable card, but it's not something that it could happen in game 1 of a limited tournament. It could, but I won't go 7. I'll go 5. Golden Grasshopper. Wow, you give this a 7. Whenever this battle is tied, the defender is ahead. So this card only works when the battle is tied. Normally, when the battle is tied, the attacker is winning. So this means now the defender's winning. Well, but what if it doesn't end in a tie? This card is so niche that I can't see playing it. I can't give it more than a 4. It's not a card that I'm going to utilize very often. So David, I want to hear why you think it's a 7 and why you think this is worth playing. I could maybe side it in. Maybe I would. Like, wow, we keep ending in a tie. I just can't see siding it in, and I can't see starting it. So I'm just going to go 4. Celestial Charger, strength +5 for 2 gold. So he knocks it down to a 7 because of the 2 gold, and I can't argue with that. Celestial Charger is a big power swing, +5 for 2 gold for the little dragons, but not as good as... I like what he does. Cricket's a 9, Minotaur's an 8, Celestial Charger's a 7. I'm going to go 8, 8, 7. Celestial Charger, play it. It's a great card. Really good card, I guess I should say. So no disagreement there. Albric. Is Albric a 7? I think it might be, or it's a 6. It's a 6 or a 7. So for 1 gold, you get a +1 strength modifier. That's just eh. And then the winner of the battle gets an additional treasure. Well, your opponent could still win the battle, but Albric now gets another treasure. It's a risky card, but I like it. I'm going to go 6. I like this card. It's played in my treasure deck. It's played in my deck where I use Ring of Power for all my Dwarven armies. And that's it. I don't think I'm going to play it in anything else. I'd play it in a limited tournament, sure. But, it's a risk. So, okay. 6 for Albric for me. I like the card. Horn of the Unicorn. So for 1 gold, you can discard any dragon in your battlefield instead of the dragon that loses this battle. You can't discard a dragon that was involved in the battle. All right, so my Wyvern's about to lose to your Celestial. I don't want my Wyvern to die. So I'm going to play Horn of the Unicorn and discard any dragon in my battlefield. The dragon doesn't have to be face up. I can discard any dragon in my battlefield. Nice card. Is it a 7? Maybe it is. Maybe that's a 7. Because that's a really good play that I can always see any game where that's going to come up and I'm going to go, man, I wish I had Horn of the Unicorn in my hand right now. So yeah, I'll stick with 7 for that. Flag of Truce. So for Knight, for free, we can cancel the battle. Knight's better. Now he gives Knight a 7. Flag of Truce, pay 2 gold and all of your dragons survive this battle. That's good. They still won the battle. The battle's not canceled. They still win the battle. All of your guys survive. I'd rather play Knight and cancel it. So I'm going to give Flag of Truce a 6. It's a good card. I don't think it's as good as Knight, but it's nice. You do have to pay 2 gold to your opponent, which is not good. But, if you're about to lose 2 or 3 dragons in a battle, you're going to be really happy that this is in your hand, but Knight is still better. Possession from Beyond. I love Possession from Beyond. I have to agree that it's only a 7. It might only be a 6, only because it's niche. It's the base strength of any dragon, yours or your opponent's, at the top card of the Dragon Lair discard pile. So if either one has a dragon, you can possess them if they're sitting in the discard pile. Unlike Possession, which has to have a face-up dragon on the battlefield. Possession from Beyond is very good, though. It's a 6 to a 7, so I'll just say 7, but it's in that range for me. I don't think it's quite as good as Possession, but it's really close. It's really close. I love Nibblings. Absolutely 7 for this, even though, again, the same thing. You get a +1 strength for 1 gold, which is no big deal. It's kind of weak, actually. And the player that wins this battle draws 2 additional cards, so it could be your opponent. But see, if I'm winning the battle and it's my opponent's play and he passes, I can now pretty safely play Nibblings. Because he just passed. He's probably got nothing. Now I'm going to play Nibblings, and I'm going to draw 2 cards. Now it's like a 9. But overall, I'm going to say 7. I could even say 6 to 7, because if my opponent wins this battle, he's going to draw 2 cards, and I'm just like, damn it. So it can blow up in your face. But overall, it's a very good card. Dwarven armies are just great. Tower of Babel. Each dragon helping in this battle counts as a -2 strength modifier for its side. Okay, so Cyclops says they all run away. Tower of Babel says they're all -2. I'm playing Tower of Babel over Cyclops. So I said Cyclops is a 6. I'm going to leave Tower of Babel as a 7. That thing really wrecks help decks. Tower of Babel destroys the help deck. Absolutely better. It's better than Gully. It's just crazy against help decks. This is the best anti-help card, I think, in the game. So I'm going to go 7. I might even go 8. I might go 8. Each dragon helping in this battle counts as a -2 strength modifier for its side instead of adding its strength. Holy moly. Now, you could argue, well, see, Cyclops only affects one side. So you could have helping dragons, and they could have helping dragons, and Cyclops gets rid of their dragons. Tower of Babel affects everybody helping. So maybe it is just a 7. Maybe it is. We'll just leave it at 7. It's a 7 or an 8 for me. We'll go that way. All right, Last Will and Testament. I like this card too. I don't know if it's a 7. If target dragon is killed in this battle, its owner gains gold equal to the base strength plus gold symbol. So red is going to get you 8 gold. Agitar will get you 5. I'm just throwing out some. All the colored dragons are going to be 6 or 7 because they're 4 or 5 strength other than red. Lots and lots of gold, right? Leviathan is going to get you 5 gold. Celestial is going to get you 5 gold, but you pay 2. So it's, you're going to get some gold. Your dragon is going to die. He has to be killed. You can't use Golden Apple or Fountain of Youth. I'm going to give it a 6. I like it. I think it's a good card. It's a 6 or a 7. So yeah, our difference is insignificant. I'll say 6 to 7, meaning we're in agreement. If I said 6, then we're off 1. I'm going to say 6. It's somewhere between 6 and 7, so we'll just call it a draw. We agree. Poison Breathing. I think Poison Breathing is a weak card, but it's not bad. The dragon that wins this battle loses 1 strength. This takes effect after the battle for the rest of the game. I have been going back and forth with whether or not this card should attach to the dragon so that the dragon is marked, but then turning the dragon down, or playing Village, or Magical Healing will work regardless, but Village or turning the dragon down would then get rid of the Poison Breathing. Thus, I've just made Poison Breathing worse. If I ever do it that way, when we play, this will be, they lose 2 strength. It attaches, but they lose 2 strength. So it'll be even more effective. I think Poison Breathing is a 4. It's playable, but it's a weak card in the game. At least from my experience, this was not good enough because I have to lose the battle and then I weaken it. It does last for the rest of the game, though. It is permanent. There's no marker, so you just have to somehow remember that dragon is -1 strength, which is kind of an odd thing. I think they should have done something, a -1 counter or attach Poison Breathing. The reason I'm not giving it a 5 is I don't think it's significant enough and it is niche. But if you're using Golden Apple and Fountain of Youth, This can be an effective card in multiples. You can just keep losing battles. Your dragon doesn't die, and they just keep getting weaker. So it's okay. I'm going to say 4, though. All right, sacrifice. The winner of this battle must pay 2 gold pieces to the loser. Yeah, I would go slightly above average with sacrifice and give it a 6. I think that's really good. I like sacrifice. Not always a necessary card, though. But if you're going to lose a battle, and you are going to lose battles in this game, nice to be able to play sacrifice, especially if you have golden apples or fountains of youth. Are you seeing a trend here? Are you seeing a pattern here? Golden apples, fountains of youth. We're going to be limiting golden apples and fountains of youth and knight, probably knight too, to 2 copies per deck for your deck. Because it's just too, I don't know what the right word is, but it draws out the game too long and it's annoying to your opponent. All right, Magical Sword. We have a slight disagreement here. I think Magical Sword is the best strength modifier in the game. I'm giving it an 8. +2 for 1 is great. Yes, +3 for 0, +4 for 1, +5 for 2 are all better, but they only affect dragons of 2 or less strength. +2 for 1 is a really good rate. It affects every dragon. In my little dragons deck, no, I'm playing Cricket, Minotaur, and Celestial over Magical Sword, but that's it. And I would, if I wanted more, I would play 4 Magical Swords in the deck too, giving me 16 modifiers. This card is really good. It's a 7 or an 8. I'm going to say 8. It's right in that range for me, though. Love that card. We're also going to disagree on Medea Spell. I think Medea Spell is one of the power cards in the game. I am going to give it an 8 and not a 9 like I did with Poison Chalice and Power Switch, because there are a lot of scenarios where Medea Spell is not a big deal. If I'm going to lower your dragon strength from 3 to 0, is that really great for 2 gold? It's -3 for 2 gold. That basically is reverse Firebolt. -2, Firebolt gives you your dragon +3 for 2 gold. Firebolt is fine and limited, too expensive for Constructed to bother with, for the most part. Maybe in a niche situation, you bring in a couple of them. But it's not a good rate. But see, Medea Spell can do this if your dragon is 6, 7, Now, rarely will the dragon's base strength be 6 or 7. It says a dragon of your choice. It does say base strength. I thought it didn't say base strength. This is the updated wording. The original wording did not say base strength. And then the card is bonkers ridiculous if you do that. I've got my dragon up to a 17. Medea Spell. Okay, yeah. That's just absurd. Because if you could pump up your dragon in different ways. But the base strength, if you're doing this to a dragon of 4 or more, this is really good. And if you're doing 5 or 6 or 7, yeah, it's a great, great spell. So I'm going to give Medea Spell an 8. It's a 7 or an 8 for me. Even though I said it is one of the power cards, it's not as good as the other ones. But very, very, very good card. In lots of situations, it is just what you want. Not all, though. Sometimes it's going to be useless for you. All right, place your bets. I don't like this card. You are betting one of your gold pieces that you will win this battle. Opponent must see your bet of 1 gold or concede the battle. So it's Gold Thief or it's a chance for a Gold Thief or concede the battle. So then you lose. I don't think I'm going to concede the battle unless I think I've got no chance. Which, of course, if I have no chance, yeah, but 1 gold, and see, again, I would go 2 gold. I'm betting you 2 gold I'm going to win this battle. Now, are you going to take that risk? Now I like this card. Place your bets for me is a 4. Below average, not worth it. Okay. Help from Beyond. Okay. I love this card, but it's not a great card. It's a fun card. This is a 10. For if you just want to play for fun, this is one of the best cards in the game to play. Both players add the top card of their dragon lair draw pile to the battle. Dragons must be paid for. Oh, the dragon has to be paid for. Ooh, I forgot about that. Man, I always forget about that. And their strength added. If a terrain affects opponent's dragon, the terrain owner gets any gold. So the terrain affects too. So if you flip up a killer terrain, I think it kills the freaking dragon. And if you if you flip up a big dragon, or you could get, messed up and you only flip over a scout and you're like, no, and you got to pay for the scout and you're like, no. It's just fun. This is fun. Overall, I'm going to have to give this a 4. I think it's below average because it's so random. Unless you can set it up. If you can set it up, if you can somehow manipulate your deck, then yeah, it's a 6. But other than that, no, it's a 4. All right, Fortuna sounds like a really good card, but it's not as good as you think. So it's 0. 0 cost. Any strength modifier played during this battle by any player cannot be stopped by a battle action or reaction card. No armor, no steel strength, no magnetic field. That's good. The problem is you are giving up a card that may or may not do anything. You are playing this card and it might not do a darn thing, because if your opponent doesn't have armor, steel strength, magnetic field, or any way to stop your strength modifiers, it did nothing. And you don't know if it's going to do anything unless you can see their hand. Now, if I can see their hand with knowledge or some way to see their hand, I can see playing this card. But in general, I'm going to give it a 4. It's below average, playable, but below average. It's okay. 4 is okay. That to me is what 4 means. 3 is where you're getting into the weak and the bad cards. Graham, I like Graham. Graham is poison breathing for 1 gold, but now it's that they lose 2 strength for the rest of the game. I attach this card, and maybe for me, I'm going to attach, and that means poison breathing will be 2 strength and Graham will be 3 strength. I don't know. All I know is I like Graham because 2 strength is twice as good as 1 strength. And I think it's good. I'm going to leave it right at 6. I think it's fine. I will pay that 1 gold for that 2 strength. Although in my ruling with attaching it, I would probably up it to 3 strength. We'll see. We might do that. Well, we won't be dealing with Graham. We're only going to be dealing with cards from the limited set. So for our tournament, we're opening limited starter decks and limited booster packs. Prometheus, good card. Good card. I'm going to give this a 7. Opponent must show you his hand and lose 1 gold for each battle action card in his hand that he doesn't discard. This is one of those cards that can sometimes play like a 9 or a 10. Sometimes it won't do anything, so maybe the 6 is right. I'm going to go say 6 to 7, and if I had to pick it, I would say 7, but 6 to 7 is about where it falls for me, right? So there's basically no disagreement here. It is can be a very effective card, and I usually try to play 1 in most of my constructed decks. Just add 1 because it's nice to have. Doves. So you like these cards more than me. The Golden Grasshopper, the Doves, the Tengu, I see. Wow. Okay. What am I missing, David? I'm confused. If the battle is a tie, it is a draw and both dragons survive. Okay, so if I'm playing a survival deck where I just want to keep my dragons alive, maybe I play this. But again, the odds of a battle ending in a tie is what? I'm going to guess 25 to 33%, 1 in 4, 1 in 3 chance, maybe. Would that be about right, David? What do you think about that? I know this is hard for you to write down all the questions I'm asking. I was like, what, another question? Damn it, Scott. Yeah, I just don't see it. I give it a 4. It's an okay card. I like the idea of what they're doing here. I need to make these cards better. There needs to be you can discard this card. These cards need to say you can discard this card from your hand to draw a card as an action. You need to be able to get rid of this card, because I guess you just play it in the battle regardless if you just want to get rid of it, But no, if I could discard it to draw a card, now I'm going to go with 6 for all of them, because now it's a playable card that might be really good. Rock. I like Rock. The dragon that wins this battle loses 1 strength for each gold you pay. There you go. 1 gold, you lost 1 strength. Now, you say, well, that's not as good as poison breathing. Poison breathing is better than that. Right, but you can pay 2 gold, and they lose 2 strength. You can pay 3 gold, they lose. You decide. You control it. So they won the battle. Golden Apple Fountain of Youth, your guy doesn't die. Regardless, though, you can significantly weaken this dragon. I think 6 is right. I think that's the right spot for it. It's better than poison breathing. It's better than Graham. So it's a 6 to a 7 for me. It's somewhere in between 6 and 7. I really, really like it. It's just slightly better. It's not a lot better. It's just slightly better than poison breathing and Graham. All right. Well, I think I gave poison breathing a 4. So if I remember right, I'm pretty sure that's what I gave it. So Tengu, here's another one. If it ends in a tie, both dragons are killed. So this is the basilisk one. Both dragons are killed. No winner or loser. So I could make a case that this could be the best one. But how do you control if it's going to end in a tie? What if your opponent's got a dwarven army or a fire breathing in their hand? Or a cricket, or a minotaur, or a magical sword? There's so many ways to upset this tie that you're hoping is going to happen. So 4. I'm going to call it a 4. Scorpion Men. I'm confused, David. The player who wins this battle must discard the top 2 cards from his or her dragon or draw file. Are you saying this is a 6 because this will help you with your native terrain dragons and or help your opponent run out of dragon lair cards? So if they win the battle, they lose the top 2 cards of their dragon lair draw pile. That could feed their native terrain dragon, so that could blow up in your face. You certainly wouldn't play it if they're playing native terrain dragons. This only works when they win, when you lose, or unless you want to win the battle and feed your deck. I can't give this more than a 3. I just think this is a bad card. So tell me how I'm wrong, and maybe you're right. But you gotta pay a gold for this? No, this is a 2. I can't even give it a 3. I'm gonna give it a 2. I'm gonna pay a gold for a battle that I'm gonna lose so that I can discard their top 2 cards of their dragon lair? I just don't see it. Deep Freeze. We thought this might be a great card when we first saw it. It's not. Because we went, 3 gold. This must be really good. At the end of the battle, the winning dragon's base strength becomes 0. That's good. That's Medea's spell permanently. It remains 0 as long as Deep Freeze is on it. Dragon's owner may discard 3 cards from their hand to remove Deep Freeze. Okay, you are having to discard 3 cards to get rid of it. It is a permanent Medea spell. At the end of the battle, the winning dragon's base strength. So you do have to lose the battle. So it's pretty good card. I feel like I want to say 5. That 3 gold, the fact that they can get rid of it. Yeah, they're discarding 3 cards, but would I pay 3 gold to make my opponent discard 3 cards? No. I would pay maybe 2 gold. But it's not a bad card. I'm going to give it a 5. I hesitate to give it a 5. I want to give it a 4 because they can get rid of it. It costs 3 gold, and those are 2 downers for me. I can't give it a 6. If I'm wrong, let me know, David. Dwarven Legion. This card is phenomenal. 3 gold, strength modifier +2. That sucks, right? Nibelungs and Albrecht. 1 gold +1 strength modifier, that's kind of weak. 3 gold +2, ugh. The player that wins this battle gains gold equal to the strength difference between the 2 sides of the battle. So if your opponent wins the battle, they're going to get the gold. That's no good. If you only win the battle by 1, or it's a tie and you won the battle, or 1 or 2, well, you just paid 3 gold. So if you paid 3 gold and only won by 3, this didn't do anything for you. So it's not. I want to give this a 9 because of what it can do. I'm just going to give it a 7. It is phenomenal in its potential. There is a risk, and I can't go, and that's why I can't go higher than 7. But someone just told me about a combination that I had never thought of, and this scares me. This is a 10 under this scenario. Are you ready? You attack with Mixquaddle on turn 1. He is a 19 strength. You then play Dwarven Legion and give him +2 for 3 gold. And the winner of the battle gets gold equal to the strength difference. I'm just saying. Oh my, that's a 10 when that happens. That's insane. So Dwarven Legion, potentially very powerful. It is in my Ring of Power deck. It is in my big gold help deck, and I'm having a hard time making it work. We just played a game last night. My friend was playing the Scout deck, and I was like, "Come on, I'm winning like 10-0," and I couldn't get the darn thing to work. He played either Magnetic Field or he played Poison Chalice. He always had something to stop me. And it was just, So, great card, though. Love Dwarven Legion. Thor's Hammer. Oh, no, David. Come on now. I know. Maybe this isn't an 8. Maybe it's just a 7. I'll say 7 to 8. For 2 gold, you double the base strength. Now, you can only play 1 per battle, which makes perfect sense. It would be ridiculous if you could play 2 in a battle. Then this card is a 9 easily. I'm gonna say 8. Being able to double any dragon's strength, any 4 or more dragon, 4 or more base strength, is powerful. Now, yes, they can Medea spell it right down to 0. They can power switch. They can Poison Chalice. There are all kinds of answers. So it's a 7 to an 8, but I'm going to say 8. But it's not 8 to 9. It's 7 to 8. It's somewhere in that range, and I'm going to say 8. Thor's Hammer is really good. Hailstorm. I think you're right about the 5. It's a 4 or a 5. All flying dragons lose 2 strength for the rest of this battle. This will often not work because you'll have a flyer. But if they have 1 flyer, hey, this is a reverse magical sword. 1 gold -2. That's a reverse magical sword. If they have 2 flyers, this is a really good card. So overall, I think it balances out. Sometimes it's going to play like a 3 or a 4, and sometimes it'll play like a 7 or an 8. So 5 is right about where it belongs. Frost Breathing. No fire breathing can be played during this battle. I think this card is poor. I think this card rarely will come up. We've added draw card to it when we were playing our modified rules. We just said add draw card to this card. Now I'll play this card. You play it. If they don't have any fire breathing, you still draw a card. Made it a much better card. This card for me is a 3. I don't see playing it. Firebolt. Okay, now see, you're only going 5 with Firebolt. Now in limited, I'm going to call this a 7. In constructed, I'm going to call this a 4. So yeah, it's in the 5 to 6 range overall. But in the limited game, strength modifiers and Dragon Slayers are what it's all about. For the most part, that's the strength of the game. And this is a very good card in your limited deck. It's a 7. But I think David's right. Overall, I think you have to give it a 5. It can be good. It's too expensive for +3. You're going to pay 2 gold. That's not a good rate. See, Magical Sword +2 for 1 gold. That's a good rate. Castle. Castle's a really good card. I might give this a 6. For 1 gold, you get +3, but only when defending. But defending's going to come up. I'm going to give Castle a 6. We're basically in agreement here. I think it's a very nice card. I like it. Same with Archers. Archers in my Archers deck is an 8. It's really good. +2, only when defending, can't play on flying or subterranean. So I'm still going to give it a 6. I think overall this is a really nice card that works when you want it to in the right deck. You can't have flying or subterranean dragons on it. But, if you have a couple in your deck, but most are land dragons, you're good. When defending, +2 for 0. Really good card. Same with Giant Ants. Giant Ants in your subterranean deck is an 8. Giant Ants in a limited deck, if you have 4 more subterranean dragons, I would say is a 6. So I would give Giant Ants a 6 to 7, somewhere in there. I think it's a perfectly good card to play. They needed to create more Giant Ants. Let's see, I could come up with some really quick. Other Giant Ants, Warrior Ants, Fire Ants, Or red ants. Well, red ants, fire ants, same thing. Yeah, but call them red ants, call them fire. Now I've just created 4 giant ants. They need 2 more archers. They need 3 more fire breathing. And then all of those cards make much more sense. The game will play much better. And when I become a multi-millionaire and I redesign Wyvern 2nd edition, look for it. Look, it's a nice dream. Just let me have it. Ravens, same exact thing. I give these cards all a 6. It's a really nice card. So same reason for everything else here. Panther, oh, +5 strength modifier. No, it's bad. It's 4 freaking gold. It could get armored, magnetic field, steel strength. Ugh. This card should say, if this card said, my 2nd edition Wyvern, Panther now says you get to draw a card, and this card can't be countered or stolen. You cannot steal strength my Panther. If I'm paying 4 gold for +5, I better get to draw a card, can't counter it, can't steal it, now I'll play the card. I would give this card a 4. I might even go down to 3. This is not worth 4 gold. In a niche situation, it's an 8. In a niche situation, it'll pull you out of a battle out of nowhere and you'll be really happy you played it, so I'll leave it at 4. Because there will be times when it will work, but boy, you better have ways to get gold, because 4 gold is murder for your gold pile. Spectral Shift. I'm guessing, like me, David, you didn't realize how good this card was. I had no idea. I just didn't think about it. Exchange one of your dragons in this battle with the top card of your Dragon Lair draw pile. If you draw terrain, discard it and draw again native terrain. If it is a dragon, you must pay for it normally. So you're playing your native terrain dragon deck, and you play Spectral Shift, and oh, there's a lake. Let me put that in my discard pile. Oh, there's another lake. I'll put that in. Oh, there's another. Spectral Shift is nasty. I'm giving it an 8. Exchange one of your dragons in this battle with the top card of your Dragon Lair draw pile. So if you're already in battle with my native terrain dragon, then yeah, maybe not. But if you're battling some weak little dragon, even without native terrain, this could bring in a big dragon and get me out of the battle. It could be excellent. But I'm gonna say 8 because of the native terrain power that this thing can do for you. It just, wow, it just feeds your discard pile for your native terrain dragons. Royal Archers, love Royal Archers. Just like Archers, I give this a 6. In the deck where you're defending, these cards are 7s to 8s. All of these decks, Giant Ants with your subterranean dragons is a 7/8. It's an 8. Ravens in your flyer deck is an 8. Castle in your defending deck is an 8. They're all really good in the right deck. In a regular limited tournament, these cards are probably closer to a 5. David's probably right if that's how he's basing his average. But I'd still say overall average 6, because in the right deck, I give it an 8. So Flood, no Dwarven Armies. So yeah, you've definitely got a difference here. No fire breathing versus no Dwarven Armies. If anything, isn't Flood a little better since there's 4 Dwarven Armies and only 1 fire breathing here with frost breathing? But I'm going to give this a 3, just like I gave it with frost breathing. It's not a card that's going to be significant enough to bother playing. I might side it in. That's about it. Same with frost breathing. I might side it in. I might not. I probably won't. It's just not good enough. So Fireball. Wow. So you think Panther is slightly better than Fireball? I don't think so. 3 gold for 4 versus 4 gold for 5. I mean, that's an extra gold for that. The rate is bad. And Fireball in limited, I'm playing Fireball. I'd play 1 Panther in limited, just so you know. I'll play that Panther in limited, 1 copy. I'll play 1, maybe 2 copies at most of Fireball, because it will win you the battle. It is a powerful strength modifier, which is why it costs 3. I think it should either cost 2, or you should get the gold refunded if it's countered or something. You draw a card, something. It's not enough for 3 gold. Compare with any 3 gold card, especially Poison Chalice. Poison Chalice is way better. But you could argue, no, Fireball is just as good because I could play that on my opponent's dragon and give them +4, and their Poison Chalice didn't work. So I'll give this, in limited, it's an 8, a 7 or an 8. In constructed, I won't play it. It's like a 2 or a 3. I think the overall grade is, yeah, I guess 4. I guess that's about right. I mean, I like Fireball, and I'm playing it in limited. It's good. Pitch is good. You giving it a 4, huh? The dragon that Pitch is played on loses 2 strength for each fire battle action card played on him instead of gaining the strength. So it's like the Tower of Babel for help dragons. So fire breathing, Fireball, Firebolt. They didn't include Firebolt, but it would also, all of those are strength modifiers, which will be played in limited, and Pitch wrecks them. So I'm going to give Pitch a 6. It might be a 7. That's how good I think Pitch is. I really, really like that card. Curious what your thoughts are on that with what I just said, David. All right, all bets are off. I might give this one a 3 or a 2. No gold can be gained or lost as a result of this battle. All right, there are niche situations where that will come up. This includes gold from treasures, action cards, and dragon abilities. If this card said draw a card, I'll play it. If this card said I can discard this card to draw a card, I'll play it. Because it might come up. But as it is, I'm not playing this. I'm going to give it a 3. I'm not playing this card. It's just not good, except in a few niche situations. So Fog, no archers can be used in this battle. It's a sideboard against archers. Otherwise, it is completely useless. It would be a 1. It is an unplayable card. So if you want to say 4 simply because this is as low as you're going, I got to go. I mean, it's a meaningless card except against archers, so it doesn't really get a grade. So I'll just leave it alone. We don't need to nitpick about that. It's a 1, or it's a 6 or a 7 against an archer deck. It's a very good card against an archer deck. Giant Anteater is playable against a subterranean dragon deck. Then it's a 6. Otherwise, it is a 1. It is completely useless. Well, I shouldn't say completely useless. They might play giant ants in their limited deck, and I might side in a giant. So I'll give it a 2. Very niche situation. Hawks, same thing. I'll give it a 2. Ravens could come up. They're rare. They're just rare. 2 or 3. I'm just going to go 3. I'm going to go 1 lower for all of these. Fog, Giant Anteater, Hawks. I'm going to give it a 3. There are situations where it could come up, where you might side it in, and again in a tournament against those decks. Oh, it's very good. 6 or 7. Badger. Battle action. Trade hands with your opponent until end of this battle. So maybe I'm wrong and maybe David's right, or maybe I'm right and maybe David's wrong. Imagine a scenario where you have no battle actions in your hand. Okay, you're not playing a deck that wants battle action cards. You're playing a terrain deck, let's just say. I think this is in my terrain deck. Or you're just playing a constructed deck and you don't rely on battle actions that much. You're dealing more with other cards, Dragon Slaying decks. There's other kinds of decks. I think Badger is in my Dragon Slayer deck. I think so. And in the battle, you switch, because now you're going to get their cards. Hopefully they have battle action cards, and you can play them, and they're stuck. They have nothing. Badger works and can be a very good card. I'm going to give it a 6. I think overall this is a very playable card. Even in limited, if you only have 2 or 3 cards in your hand and Badger's your only battle action, you're flipping cards. It's great. Glad we agree about mental domination. So why is Hypnos so good then? You can force any face-up dragon of 2 or less strength to help on either side of the battle. So you give that a 4, but you give Hypnos a 7, I think it was. I think you gave Hypnos a 7. I'm going to go 4 with mental domination, maybe even a 3. I won't pay 2 gold for that. I would pay 1 gold for it, and I would pay 2 gold for Hypnos. Now those cards are both, I would say for 1 gold, Mental Domination is a 5 or a 6, and I would give Hypnos a 7 to be able to force any dragon, any face-up dragon to help. And that's how I would end this. I think overall we're pretty much in agreement here. I don't think there's too much difference. Very curious to hear your reasoning on some of these, though. I want to hear, because like I said, I realized I was wrong from your last video. You were right about a couple of those cards, and I just hadn't really thought it through. But let's see if you're right about Lucky Strike and I'm wrong. There's one I want to know about, and I don't think Battle Chaos in limited Battle Chaos might be. I might rank it higher. You certainly can play Battle Chaos in your big Dragons deck, but you're going to run out of gold so fast your head will spin. You're going to just run out of gold. So Battle Chaos is risky and dangerous, but fun. It's another fun card. But nothing is as fun as Help from Beyond. Help from Beyond is the best card to play in a fun game. I think I might even have it on video once. I'm not sure. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this. We really want to hear from all of you Wyvern players out there. What do you think about these cards? Where do you agree with us? Where do you disagree with us? Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.